and dirty.
You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
Yay! Finally, for those of you who don't recognize the intro, Amanda's healthy and she finally got our intro done for us. Thank you, Amanda, for giving us your creative expertise.
Of course. You're always welcome for my creative genius.
You really are the comedic genius of our generation.
I really don't know if I'd go that far, but...
Okay,
You shut your whore mouth.
Yeah, you shut your whore mouth right now. Check the comments on StreamYard here just to see. And is your profile public? Or is the post public?
Yes.
I just want to see if it worked.
Nope. Not on StreamYard.
All right. Well, never mind.
So, all right. For those of you who don't know, and shit volume on my phone, you couldn't hear from the voices in the background, but Amanda and Shannon both are here as always because they are freaking awesome, and that's what we do. So, welcome back, co-hosts.
Hello.
I feel like I haven't talked to Shannon in a while. It's been like 2 hours.
I know.
Introduce our guest so I can coach him for our show that we recorded earlier.
Well, I'm not sure you're going to want me to introduce because I've got a long list of titles that our guest has, and one of them I know is going to piss you off. But with that said, because you asked, we are joined on this very special episode of An Evening at the Movies by somebody who was our very first guest on the show some 170 episodes ago. He is the king, pun intended, of Shining Trivia.
Wah, wah.
So I knew it. Let's see. He also is the reason that me and my initial first I can't get the damn direction right. Initial co-host connected in the podcast world.
And you're the reason that Amanda and I connected, so it's like very incestuous.
Yeah.
One big circle. It's the circle of life.
He's responsible for a lot of shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Trademark 2023.
An OG Pod Squad member. He is the Podfather himself. He is the host of The Overlook, a Stephen King podcast. Welcome back to the show for the first time in a couple years, Mr. Tim Arnold.
Hey, it's so depressing when you say a couple years.
Well, I mean, Amanda and her little sound effects.
I kept getting it confused with Tom Arnold, and I was like, what the fuck does he have to do with Stephen King?
You know how many times I feel like
everything to do with Stephen King.
As an Iowa resident.
Hey, Tim, you got to hear something that's come full circle that I need to tell you about. So my brother just met Dee Wallace at a horror con, and I was like, you have to mention that she was on The Overlook during COVID and make sure that you bring it up and then bring up my show. And she said she remembered you. And Dee Wallace is fucking awesome.
She called me honey.
Yeah.
She called me honey. Then she yelled at Dave. She gave him a tongue lashing.
Call me honey.
Yeah, I was going to say, she freaking went off on Dave in that episode too. So, well, I mean, I will, before we get too far into this, is there anything that you would like to let the listeners know potentially about The Overlook, or would we like to save that for the end?
I mean, it's coming back. I've been lazy this weekend, took the kids to the fair and didn't have a lot of time to edit. Also a smidge bit nervous to put the episode out because we got a little wild, but we're coming back.
How is that different from any other time?
Yeah, I know. I think we just forgot about how wild we got. So, like, but cool. It'll be out within the next couple of days. So we covered a variety of topics, but it's good to be back. It's good to, just be back. I do have a question for Amanda, though.
Okay.
Real quick. My stepson got me this Michael Myers action figure for my birthday last month, and it's a Halloween 2 figure. But there's this mask. I'm going to pick it up. He's wearing, or he can wear.
Okay.
Oh, of course. But he's got this white mask, like super white compared to. I don't know if you can see that compared to the other one.
Does it come with the mask that has the bloody tears on it?
Yep. But
I
what
don't
is
know
the
why
super
it has.
white
I
hair?
don't know because it's got white hair too, and I saw that actually.
Mhm.
Somebody posted a TikTok about it, and I don't. Oh, I do know. I do know what it is. I'm so fucking smart.
Is it the television cut?
No, it's the kid that gets run over by the police car.
Ben Tramer.
Ben Tramer, because he's wearing that mask, and his mask's hair is white. That's who it's for. It's for Ben. Poor Ben.
All right. I like it.
But how did Michael Myers end up with Ben Tramer's mask?
He didn't. They thought Ben was Michael, and then he got run over by a car and caught on fire.
Fucking Ben Tramer.
One big drunken John Carpenter clusterfuck.
Yeah.
I mean, shouldn't he have taken Lori to the fucking dance? God damn it.
Well, she would have gone with him, but they got murdered that night. The dance was the next day.
What's a little murder between friends? That's fine.
Yeah.
I know. That's what Amanda and I talk about every week.
We just talk about a lot of murders. It's sad.
This is very true. So, I have actually a surprise that I haven't told anybody about. Well, no, I have told one person about. Shannon knows what's going to happen right now.
I know lots of things.
Dee Wallace?
Why my hair is so big.
Full of secrets.
Yep.
I'm going to pose a question to two of you. And the first person that flips off their camera gets to answer the question. And if they are right, they win a prize.
So we have to flip off the camera? That's how we answer?
Yep. Just flip off the camera. First finger up gets to answer the question.
110.
Yeah,
110.
right? 110.
Okay, well, Tim answered it correctly right off the bat, so Tim wins.
That wasn't really the question, was it?
That was really the question.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
It had to have been. It had to have been. Come on.
Like, who's ever going to forget that?
Well, no, that's why I made sure it was the first person to throw their finger up in the air that got. So it is what it is, and Tim retains his title of being the king of Shining trivia.
Yeah, he beat me by one question. I wouldn't brag too much.
And technically, both of you got that question wrong the first time around.
And how many guest quarters are in the Overlook? Like, Jesus fucking Christ!
I think I was just closest. Neither of us guessed the right number.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with that question. That was taken word for word out of the book.
Yeah.
So, so we are here, obviously, to continue the Stephen King birthday bonanza celebration because this Thursday, well, today when this episode drops, but Thursday from the live recording, will be Mr. King's 76th birthday. So, Amanda, it's because it's a birthday. You know what you need to do. You do it all the time.
You say it's your birthday. It's my birthday too, yeah. I'm glad it's your birthday.
Amanda and I have made a remix.
Happy birthday to you.
It's very festive.
I don't know if I like it when you
I'm just glad somebody else knows that song.
It's a remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen.
And it's organic.
Shake your crouton.
All right. So we're going to continue the celebration with the next movie up in the chronological order of movies because technically we took the made-for-TV Salem's Lot out from in between Carrie and this movie. So we're going to roll right into Kubrick's interpretation of The Shining.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, well, depending upon your opinion, I mean, if you're looking at
Tim's already upset.
Yeah,
so.
him shaking his head and Amanda's dumbing.
Do you guys want to see the people? How many copies I have of The Shining? Those are all The Shining, and Tim still has more than me.
Actually, I got to message you. There's one that I want to gift you, but I want to make sure you don't have it first.
Is it a cemetery dance? You're like,
no,
fuck no.
No.
I'm pretty sure
it's the Jim Faison cover.
Which one is
the green with the hedge animals on it? The hardcover with the.
Is that
I'll
like
send you a
the
picture
original cover?
No.
Okay.
There's an artist, Jim Faison. He did the Doubleday. I think it's Doubleday books. Like the first couple, but it's the green one that has the hedge animals on it, and like it's The Shining is like in pink on the. Yeah, it's a. People love it. So
I already have two
I got like
from you, so.
I really feel like the hedge animals inspired pubic grooming in the 80s.
I used to trim her topiary. It was a very nice topiary. Did she have nice edges, Dad?
If only Kubrick kept the hedge animals.
He really should have. That shit was scary.
Well, I mean, before we really get into discussing Kubrick, do we want to break Dave's rule and not bring up the fact that there's a much better version, more faithful version of this movie that our guest happens to love with a passion?
I don't know if I'd say better, more faithful. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I like snow.
Like snow.
I will be honest. I am probably the only person in this little circle jerk that has never read The Shining.
That would be correct, and shame on you.
So,
I tried.
Spoiler alert. Maybe sometime in the semi-near future, we can coordinate a episode of Literature Reapers dedicated to The Shining.
Heck yeah.
How long is it?
It's not that long.
It's not it.
Audiobook's probably 9-10 hours. But.
Okay.
Get the audiobook, remember?
That's what I tried.
Campbell Scott. Campbell Scott reads it. It's a really, but he reads it really dull.
I think what I'm going to do is just dabble in the gummies and just go for it. I'm going to take a day of PTO.
Just go.
You're going to be scared.
Just go.
I'm just going to get all verklempt and go for it.
That fire hose scene had me wanting to put the book in the freezer.
Fucking Rachel.
All right.
Going to happen.
I wouldn't say that the miniseries was better. I would say more faithful.
It's more faithful to the book. I would not call it better.
I can't say better, and I love that miniseries. But
Steven Weber is way hotter than. Yeah, Steven Weber was way hotter than Jack Nicholson in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I
one of the four of us
Weber
actually
like 2 months ago.
What?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Still?
Are you guys that close now?
Yeah. I mean, we email. I invited him to.
Can you get me a?
My future
Can you get me a pair of signed underwear?
You were supposed to tell him all the dirty things I wanted to do to him after I saw a single white female.
Minus the heel.
Minus the heel. I would never stick a heel in your head, Steven Weber. I would do something else with your other head.
Be getting remarried. You want to come out for the wedding? And he said, I would have to bring actor friends, and you can't feed us all. I was like, is that worth a shot? Yeah.
That's so funny.
So back to my request for underwear.
Yeah.
What are the chances?
Yes. I mean, I sent him probably pretty. Underwear might be a little tougher to pull off, but
it's going to be like that episode of Big Bang Theory when Sheldon gets the napkin with Leonard Nimoy's DNA on it.
Live long and prosper, Leonard Nimoy. Anyway,
I can ask him.
I can't believe you're still talking to Steven Weber. Fuck you, God.
Every now
just
and
like
then,
casually.
I'll email him just to like. No, like every now and then, it's solely to like boost my ego. Like every now and then, I'll just like send him an email and be like, just whatever. And if he answers, I'm like, yeah,
His
I know
appearance
my
on the
hero.
Overlook was great. You guys did a really good job during COVID of
Yeah,
getting some heavy hitters to come on the show.
that was crazy. I don't even know how that can be topped. But
I mean,
and it's crazy because like D. Wallace is far more successful, like in the mainstream and stuff like that. But yeah, Weber, I was just like, wow, you can really harass people on Twitter to get them to do what you want them to do. So,
Next goal, Emilio Estevez.
Why?
Emilio.
Because
I would love to.
I had a dream one time where I was in a thrift store and I found an Emilio Estevez t-shirt. It was like royal blue and it had like his Breakfast Club picture on it. And I literally sent all of my friends on a mission to go thrifting to find this exact shirt in a medium. And I don't know what the fuck I'd do with a medium, but like that's what size it was in my dream. So like everybody went out in the world and was searching for this Emilio Estevez shirt. It's like almost like the time I had in my dream to decide between a box of donuts and a commemorative Kirk Cameron calendar.
Kirk Cameron is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, so
but it was like it was a commemorative calendar. It was a commemorative calendar, like Growing Pains, circa 1987 Kirk Cameron. It was like vintage.
Okay,
it wasn't.
Now I need to
current
know if
Kirk
that
Cameron.
Emilio Estevez shirt exists. So
I'm pretty sure it does. And if not, I bet someone on Etsy can make it and make my dreams come true.
I want St. Elmo's Fire Emilio because he's so dedicated. He's like the romantic version of Michael Myers. He will
he's
not
creepy.
stop pursuing that woman.
He's creepy.
League.
Like so many levels of restraining order. Like were restraining orders even a thing back then?
Oh, they were. Nobody just paid attention to him.
Yeah.
But the other thought I had in my head though too is you can harass people on Twitter, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get them on your podcast. Hashtag Mick Garris.
Oh yeah, I even tried to pull the Weber card on that one. That didn't happen. Yeah, he is a dick. He was a straight up dick.
I mean, I do believe we actually had a campaign going at one point to flood his Twitter with
we did
hashtag come on the Overlook, hashtag come on the Overlook. And you're like, yeah.
Yep.
Hashtag he Instagram.
I hit him up on Instagram. He Instagrammed me saying that he was taking, because he had his own podcast at the time, and said that he was taking a break from podcasting. And then like a week later, he was guesting on somebody's podcast. And I was like, you motherfucker, like just say no.
Yeah, just say no.
Don't tell me you're retiring.
Tim.
Yeah, just be like, nah, no, thank you.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're not freaking mainstream successful podcasters. We're independent podcasters. So
well, he's only Mick Garris. Come on.
Hey, you guys should reach out to D.
Literature Reapers is top 5.
You should what?
For real. Reach out to D. Wallace.
I should
Instagram
be like
that's all I did. I just
Instagrammed
her
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I just Instagrammed her, and her assistant got right back to me and was like, "Yeah, we can do that." So,
did you know
go for it.
Danielle Harris and Scout, what's her name, have a podcast?
Taylor.
Yes.
Scout
Danielle
Taylor
Harris
Compton?
is like my.
Yeah.
Danielle Harris is like my first crush.
My brother's in love
Mine
with
too.
TK,
He's like, I would do dirty things to both of them. But yeah, they have a podcast too, so I want to start listening to it.
Damn.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danielle Harris is hot.
I don't know. I just grew up.
I remember when she tried to steal David on Roseanne.
I do not remember that.
Yeah, she tried to steal David from Darlene. Fucking hooker.
Too hot for David.
I know.
She was on the show for like.
So was Penny though.
2 months or something like that.
Penny was too hot for Leonard. He's just not a hot guy.
No.
That's okay though. He's funny.
I mean, I'd still do him, but like begrudgingly.
just to write it on my list of famous people I've I'm with
and that list for me would include Johnny Galecki. That's the only person.
All
and the
right,
employee of the month at Bebop's, but that's all I got.
let's get this show on the road so we don't end up being here all freaking night long. So, really quick before we get going, The Shining released on May 23rd, 1980. Like we said, was directed by Stanley Kubrick, was distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures, had a $19 million budget, and made $47.3 million at the box office. Now is Amanda's favorite point of the show. Rotten Tomato meter, not fan meter. Would everybody like to take a wild guess at what Rotten Tomatoes has The Shining rated at?
I'm going 67.
Oh,
Sorry, I stole your thunder.
that's cool. That's cool.
I have
Oh, he
Wikipedia
said
open,
Amanda.
so I can just look right now.
No, don't. You have to guess. Don't Google it.
Just
Don't be a
kidding, I'm
cheater.
kidding.
God.
I won't.
Were you
cheat, I
going to
won't
take
cheat.
67, Amanda? Because if you were, I'll give it to you.
No, I was going to say like 76.
So, ow, transfix my numbers.
I'm going like. This is a fan. Who's I missed a part.
The
Who's
Rotten Tomato
ranking?
meter, not the fans.
It's the tomato meter, not the fan meter.
Oh, I'm going like 92.
Two of you are really fucking close. 83%.
Ooh, I was super close. Closest
Tim wasn't
without
that
going
far off
over.
either.
I'm just
That's
going to go
surprisingly
sit
lower
here
than
in my
I would-
mediocrity.
Mediocrity.
I say mediocrity.
It's mediocrity.
This
I like
was
to
one of
put the
those
wrong
ones,
syllable on the emphasis.
too, where when
Potato,
we did
potato.
the greatest Stephen King movie tournament last year, where I thought this was going to be seated a lot higher because of the tomato meter, because we ranked them all by tomato. And this one was a lot lower than I thought it was going to be.
What was number one?
The top four were Rob Reiner, Darabont, and Darabont. So Stand By Me. No, one of them was Carrie. Stand By Me, Carrie, Green Mile, and Shawshank.
Shawshank's got to be, yeah.
Harry was the only one I had that ended up in the final four.
I'm surprised.
And didn't make it to the final.
Yeah.
What else has De Palma done since Carrie?
Carlito's Way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was before Carrie,
I
though, I think.
Oh,
I apologize. I got a rainstorm coming through, so if you're picking up on that, my apologies.
oh no.
Didn't
I
he
don't hear
do one of the Mission Impossibles? I feel like he did. I could be wrong. I have to name.
He's done some great stuff, and Carrie is not that bad of a movie either. As we
No, I'm surprised.
That's in the last-
I would have thought Kubrick's Shining would have been higher.
Yeah.
I think
Everybody loves this
Maybe.
movie.
part of that could be the fact that there's been a lot of, and I know I've noticed it in like the Facebook group stuff where people like to bring out and post the articles about King's feelings on Kubrick's adaptation. Which hashtag, if you don't know, Stephen King hates this version of the fucking movie like no other. Because
I liked
Kubrick
it.
definitely.
It's because you haven't read the book. Can I just say, so I grew up watching The Shining. I did not read the book until I was in college. And I use this analogy a lot, but I swear to God, after I read the book, it was like I found out my favorite love song was written about a sandwich. Like nothing made sense anymore. I was like, this is nothing like the movie. What the fuck have I been watching all these years? But if you consider them as separate works of art, then they're okay.
Yeah, I'm with
All
you.
right, I'm
As
adding-
a movie.
I'm adding The Shining to my library cart now.
As a movie, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's fun. It's scary. It's cool. It's visually stunning and all that. As an adaptation, it's trash.
Yeah.
And they left out all the good stuff.
I
That's why
know.
I'm like, there's
Who
so
leaves out the
much.
hedge animals and that fire hose snake and like
Steven Weber. I mean, who does that? You know, some of the history of the Overlook. Just
Y'all
And
are
the
so
voice-
liars.
much
It's 16 hours of my life.
and the voice in the middle of the night that says, "It's party time, let's fuck," or something like that.
In this, we get like bears given fellatio. We get a
Yeah.
talking finger. I don't know.
Wait,
There's
who-
mayhem in this.
Right now, Mrs. Torrance.
Who got a blowy by a bear?
Horace Derwent.
Durant. Yeah. There's
Oh,
that
And
I'm
one part
reading
you
the
the
say.
book.
dog.
See, now
this
we
is
get
in
you all
this
the
is in
juicy
Kubrick's movie.
details.
No,
This
I'm
is in
saying
Kubrick's
that in the
movie.
book it's a dog, but in the movie it's a bear.
Oh yeah. There's mayhem all around. But,
I mean, who doesn't want to fillet a bear?
I don't, especially if it's
I-
a cocaine
I think
bear.
I think I'd rather a bear fellatiate me than me.
But it has teeth.
To a bear.
Women
And
have
claws.
teeth.
Well, I
They
mean,
do
so
that shit all
don't
the
so
time.
don't humans. Humans have teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have social norms that tell us don't bite. We're taught from a very young age, don't bite.
True.
No,
Oh,
I mean, if it's a domesticated bear,
What about Winnie the
know.
Pooh?
Hey, do not corrupt poo. You stop
I
it.
can't look at Winnie the Pooh since I saw that trailer for that horror Winnie the Pooh movie.
I haven't watched it. The Blood and Honey or
You
whatever.
guys haven't seen the trailer for the? Oh yeah,
I've seen
it
the
hit public
trailer. I
domain.
didn't watch the movie though.
Yeah, I can't watch the movie. The second one's bringing Tigger in. It's terrifying.
No,
Oh
Yeah.
Lord.
not the poo.
Not the Tigger. Is he organic?
Tigger gone wild.
Oh. All right. So before we can get deep into our discussion,
Real
need
quick, is semen vegan?
I think so. It doesn't. I mean, it comes from something with a face. Doesn't have a face. Vegan is nothing with a face, right?
Well, they can't eat eggs either, and eggs don't have faces.
The chickens do.
Right. But, yeah. I don't know. We'll put a pin in that. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Why don't you ask Google?
My search history is corrupt enough without adding that to it.
Right. All right. Amanda, are you ready to do your thing and beat the clock?
I am.
90 seconds.
Okay, hold on. Technically, semen is not vegan because it is sourced from an animal, which is the human animal.
Thank you for taking the hit on that one.
You're welcome. My search history didn't give a fuck about anything. All right.
I swear you can't take these two anywhere with you.
I strongly disagree on the veganism of semen. But
It's sourced from the animal. So, okay, you heard it right here. All right. I'm ready.
All right. I can't do the clock, so
You don't need to. This is like 15 seconds, if that. A family heads to an isolated hotel for the winter, where a sinister presence influences the father into violence, while his psychic son sees horrific forebodings from both the past and future. Dun dun dun. And there's snow.
You were wrong again. That was 12 seconds.
I like snow.
Not in this version. There's not. Well, there is snow in this version.
Yeah,
but
there's
not
snow.
singing about it. And technically, by the way, I want it to be known too I was going to do a second part to the question from earlier about the 110 guest quarters, and have the second part of the question be, what does Cortland Mead like? But then, literally, like as I'm typing it out and sending it to Shanna, Amanda literally posted a video clip of Cortland Mead sitting in the snow singing, I like
snow.
I'm like,
I like snow.
Seriously, she's freaking psychic when it comes to reading the thoughts in my head.
It's true.
So, all right. I got to turn the page back in my notes so I can get to the questions. And Let's see.
110. Final answer.
You didn't flip off the camera first.
110.
Tim still wins.
Fine.
We'll have to do a rematch.
We should.
Mhm.
With legit questions.
Hey, there was not a damn thing wrong with those questions. They might have been a little bit more difficult, but
No, I can concede, because that last question, it should have ended in a tie because it was just like who was closer, and we both just pulled a number out of nowhere. So I'm on the record here saying I am tied with
Thanks.
Amanda
I appreciate
as
that.
the king and queen of the Shining trivia.
Thank you.
You better be
Okay.
careful with that, Casey. You're going to choke.
no, I
And
won't.
nobody here can help you.
The fuck are you doing?
Fellation a
got a-
pop bottle lid.
Pop bottle lid
Oh.
that I'm kind of sort of. Yeah.
Oh my god, that is so a choking accident waiting to happen. Are you insane?
Have you not seen how the hell my year has gone this year?
Rhetorical
So
question.
why would you tempt
Good
fate?
point. I'm not going to tempt fate. I put nothing in my hands. So, let's jump a little bit into the movie, distance-wise into the movie. One of the hot button topics that people like to talk about is the rumored abusive directing style of Kubrick, directed towards one Miss Shelley Duvall.
I don't think it's rumored. I think it's factual.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, some people. There have
Kubrick had a
been
problem with women.
documentaries where people have said, it's part of the quote unquote method of
Him
getting.
trying to get the emotion out of her that he needed. But
Yeah.
if you're an actress and you can't bring that out yourself, then you're the wrong actress for the job. Like, let her do her thing and stop terrorizing her.
For like
Yeah, the
17
SVU is going to
hours.
come out and
Yeah.
go, that's abuse. That's fucking abuse. Straight up abuse.
Sorry.
I don't even remember what the even ballpark number that most people will throw out there, but I remember hearing, I think, like 97 takes that they did
I think it was
on that
110.
one scene alone. Somebody's a wise ass.
Could you imagine having to perform that scene 100 times? Like, I don't know which take they used, but I don't know how she. 'Cause
Probably the first one.
her emotion was raw, and but even if it wasn't, every single time the acting with the fear and the crying and everything that you have to conjure up for that scene, doing it 100 times, I probably would have hit myself in the head with that baseball bat.
Well, I
Yeah.
got a question. Has anybody kept
Okay.
up with Shelley Duvall recently? Well, not even recently,
I've-
within like the past 10, 15 years.
I've seen a couple of like
She's-
articles with her.
Yeah, she has suffered from a lot of mental health issues and mental
Mm.
illness all over the
Yeah.
map. And I've always wondered, like, is there a direct correlation between that and Kubrick's directing? Because, I mean, Shelley Duvall, what? We know her from The Shining, Popeye.
Yeah.
And then she kind of fell off the map.
Suburban
You know what I
Commando.
mean? Yeah, there's not a whole lot that you can throw out there. So, like, did Kubrick abuse her? And I'm going to say abuse because he did, straight up.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah,
known
it
for
was
being a very
systematic
good-
abuse.
Yeah. Did that long term affect her and her career? You know, because she
I
went
mean,
on
I
Dr.
think
Phil.
so.
Yeah,
I mean,
so it had to.
I think you have to have already some sort of underlying predisposition to something, but I don't think it's unfair to say she had PTSD from making that movie. And that would affect my ability or even desire to ever want to film another movie.
Yeah.
So was he a
Yeah,
trash bag to the other actors or just her?
I
Well,
think
there
he
isn't
was
really a
kind
whole
of
lot
a
of
dick
actors in the
in
movie.
general. It's the quote unquote, you're a genius, so you get to act however the fuck you want.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean,
Nobody
that's
talks
literally
back
like
on Stanley Kubrick as being a good person.
Yeah.
No.
Great director, great filmmaker, but nobody's testifying to his character.
Yeah.
He's a shitbag.
Well, if you think about it
Uh,
too, Nicole Kidman said she had a very traumatic scene or experience filming Eyes Wide Shut with him too.
That whole movie was a
That whole
traumatic
movie.
experience.
That's what I
Zuma,
was. You literally took the words right out of my mouth.
mm.
that movie was hot garbage. I don't care what the hell kind of quality director Stanley Kubrick is, and fuck Tom
That was
Cruise.
his last movie.
I think he's overrated. So
I agree.
I
I've
saw
seen
Eyes
Shining.
Wide Shut in the
Full Metal
theater with my
Jacket
mom.
is, right?
Oh,
I know, it was very uncomfortable.
I walked out of Eyes
It's
Wide
all
Shut in
good.
the theater.
Yeah. The only reason I
I
stayed is
think
because
I
my mom fell
only
asleep.
tried watching it because like I saw a trailer or something and was like, oh, Spank Bank, but no,
Yeah.
I didn't even get that far. So I was like,
And
nah,
I watched A
I'm good.
Clockwork
Yeah.
Orange. I mean, it was definitely
That movie's
fucked
so
up, but
fucked.
I it's not something I would watch again. I've seen it twice and I'm good. Like I'm never gonna watch that again.
I think I've watched
The Shining,
it
at least
once.
I'll watch.
If you rewatch
What's the
Clockwork
point of
Orange and
Clockwork
refuse
Orange?
to rewatch the fucking Green Mile, you're fired.
Well, they
What the
both
fuck
evoke
is the
very
point of
different
Clockwork
emotions.
Orange?
Not worse than the Green Mile.
I won't watch Green Mile because of how it makes me feel. I'm an emotional cutter, so I'll only watch it if I'm in the cutting mood. To try not to do. I'd
Clockwork
watch
Orange
Clockwork
just
Orange
sucks.
high. Yeah.
I'm high right now and I wouldn't even watch Clockwork Orange. I was scarred the first time I saw that movie when they're cutting the little circles out on the woman's breasts and stuff. I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now? I think I was
And they're like murdering
12,
people
but
while playing Singing in the Rain.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then like I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween and I was like, is that the fucking dude that haunted my fucking dreams for 20 years? But
Yep.
awful. The movie's not even I don't know. I think Kubrick's overrated. I don't know. I don't put him up there as I would say Quentin Tarantino is 1,000 times better and 1,000 times the director of Kubrick, but
Yeah.
writer, director, all of it.
It's kind of like Woody Allen. It's like the cool thing to like him, but Woody Allen is
Mhm.
fucking pedophile, and his
A
movies
trash
aren't even
bag.
that good. Like Annie
No,
Hall
they're
was
not.
fine. I liked Annie Hall, but I don't know. It's just overrated. Yeah,
It's the hipster thing to do. I'm like, I'm a hipster. I like Kubrick. I like Woody
exactly.
Allen. You know what I mean? I think Harvey Weinstein and Epstein and all of them fucking, yeah, get out of here. Get the fuck out of
I'll
here.
take Spielberg and
Uneducated
be
swine.
happy.
You know what's hilarious is I was watching. Sorry, we're going way off the rails, but I was watching Scream 3 yesterday, and I was thinking like, while they were making this movie and talking about this plot line of Sydney's mom, was Harvey Weinstein like watching this from the background going, holy fuck, are they writing this shit about me? Because this is literally my life story.
They're on to
Mhm.
me.
And think about how far before Me Too Scream 3 came out, too.
Yeah. That was the first
Yeah.
time I'd ever really thought about that, but I was like, holy shit, he must have been like sweating in his britches a little bit. Or
Yeah,
not.
because
He
he
thought it
put
was
out that
hilarious.
movie, didn't he?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Weinsteins were on the Screams.
Yeah, knowing him, the sociopath, he probably thought it was, oh, that's a great meta
Yeah.
joke to put in there. I love it.
Yeah.
They'll never
Fucking
put
piece
two
of
and
shit.
together.
I didn't realize it either, but Weinstein did all of Tarantino's movies, too.
Oh,
Well, Tarantino at least spoke up and severed ties with him and was like, yo, no, thank you.
True.
Not to make
all right.
excuses for anybody that, supported that piece of shit, but
All right, Casey, what's your next question? We're going off the rails.
Yeah.
Not the rails.
So
One
one
time.
of the things I happened to notice while rewatching and prepping for this episode, there's reference in the movie to the shoulder dislocation, and it happened 3 years ago. But then shortly thereafter in the movie, it's brought up that Jack has been dry for 5 months. Are these like two completely unrelated instances, or is Jack on and off the wagon left and right?
I'm pretty sure there was relapses.
It's just in continuity from the book because he literally like maybe a month, if not less, after the thing with Danny happens, and they have the thing with the bike, which I also wish would have been in the movie, and that's when he went completely dry. So I think, yeah, it's just, to me, it's incontinuity, and I just don't even care about it, honestly.
Not to be confused with incontinence.
Or impotence.
Not incontinent. Because I think that's probably the biggest issue I have between the two, and we've talked about it a lot already. But there's so much continuity issues between the movie and the book that it's incredibly frustrating, in my opinion.
Well,
But again, like
actually,
Amanda said, if you separate the two, it is what it is. Like me and Halloween 3. If I think about Halloween 3 as being a Halloween movie, you too, buddy, you know my thought on this.
I fucking doubles. I love that fucking movie so much.
thank you.
I need to
Me
see
too.
it. I need to watch it.
It's so
I
fucking
love Halloween
fantastic. You just have to remember it's
think
not a
about
Michael
it.
Myers movie.
Which one is
When
the
I
one
think
with
about
Paul
Season of the
Rudd?
Witches being a separate entity, it's
Halloween
fine.
6.
If I think about it as part of the franchise, I'm
You don't
lost.
even. It doesn't even. Just think of it as the season of the witch. Just
Yeah,
say this takes
that's
place
what
as
he
a side
says.
story
And that's why I call
while
it Season of the
Michael is
Witch, not
doing.
Halloween 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm actually going to backtrack on what I just said, because thinking about the book, I think that did happen when he was like 3 in the book. So I'm guessing
I
it
thought
just.
it was like. I thought it was only months, like 16, 18 months prior. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was
But
it
he's
3
supposed to
years?
be 6, right?
5.
5. Okay, then
5.
yeah, that probably
5.
makes sense.
5.
He's 60 months old.
Smart ass.
I don't know. Should I grab the book and see?
You got
You
a
should.
buttload of copies over there.
I mean, I would put money down that he was 5 years old during the events of the Overlook. It's just, I want to say it was like 16 to 18 months prior that the shoulder issue happened.
So I think he kept drinking long after that, but I think the whole bike incident is what made him go
Yeah.
dry.
In
His
King's
come to
version,
Jesus moment.
Yeah. Yeah, when you think
Well, in
he
the
ran
movie, it
over a
doesn't.
kid on a bicycle, I mean, yeah, that.
Yeah. I mean, in this version of The Shining, his alcoholism doesn't even really fucking matter.
I know, it's crazy.
He just goes zeros. I mean, he's fucking nuts in the interview. I mean, right from the get-go, we see Ullman, and we're like, well, he's not an officious prick, so
Yeah, like what happened to that?
you know what
Why
I
we
mean?
get
Like,
nice
why am I going to be? Why would I be sympathetic to Jack Nicholson or Jack Torrance in this version when it's like I got no reason to be? You're a fucking lunatic from the beginning. You're reading Playboy in the fucking lobby, bro.
Yeah, they
Have some
do not
discretion.
make him sympathetic at all. In the
No.
book, they try
No.
to. I'll go back to what I've always said, that he's a textbook narcissist, but in the movie, they do not even try to make him relatable or endearing or anything. He's just a dick.
None of them.
And you don't even feel bad when the hotel takes over him, because he was an asshole anyway.
Well, it doesn't matter. You look at him and go, well, he's a dick. But then you look at his family and go, I'd probably fucking murder him too. My kid's talking to his fucking finger. My wife is, I don't even fucking know what's going on with my wife
Fucking
right now.
chain smoker from hell.
Talk now, Mrs. Torrance.
with an ash that's
You know
that
what I
long.
mean?
and
Yeah.
I'd fucking murder him too. I got sympathy for. I don't even have sympathy for Scatman Carruthers in this because he should have stayed far the fuck away. He should have
Yeah.
And
stayed down
Shelly
there.
didn't even like hold the baseball bat in a protective manner. She like held it in the middle of it and was shaking it. Like,
Right?
bitch, grab it like you're gonna take a swing.
Like, you were never going to
Do
hurt him
something with it.
holding it like that.
We got Ullman.
Kubrick
I think I
spent
might
all
have
that
sympathy
time
for.
terrorizing her and couldn't teach her how to hold a bat.
I don't know. This movie is just it's a train wreck, but people love it so much.
I tend to fall in the same category as King with this, and especially because I'm like Amanda. I saw the movie before I read the book, but once I finally sat down and read the book and started comparing the two, it's like why is this even called The fucking Shining? It, with a very few exceptions, has nothing to do with the book at
Very
all.
loosely based.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the book and then I'm going to jump right in and watch the movie just so there's like fresh in my mind.
Come and play with us,
Yeah.
Daddy.
Well,
The twins that aren't actually twins.
I had a question. And I haven't
Okay.
done any research on this. But so the book came out in what, 78, 79? 78?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to say 79. No, all right, 77. This came out 3 years later. How popular was the book at the time of this coming out? Had that
I
many
don't think
people
it
really
was.
read the book? So, like, at the time, there wouldn't have been much outcry.
77.
This is a shitty adaptation.
Right.
It would have been, this
True.
is a fantastic horror movie.
It was
And-
just
When
trying
it-
to
you
bank
know-
off the success of Carrie.
So when did Carrie come out? The
77.
movie.
Carrie came out in 76.
76.
I think 78 was Salem's Lot, and then 80 was when the movie came. Then when Kubrick's movie came out. And by the way, Joey Rice Jr. says he was 5, but when the shoulder incident happened, he was 3, I think.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too.
You
'Cause
can't
I
take
remember a
Joey's
part-
word for it. You can't take
Well, I
Joey's
just
word
remember
for
a part in the book where he's screaming, like he's really upset, and he's just like, "I'm only 5, or I'm only 6. Doesn't it matter that?" Like he's like, "I'm only 5. Doesn't it matter that I'm only 5?" Because that part made me cry. I felt so
Yeah.
bad for him.
it. In no version of The Shining so far have we gotten a sympathetic Danny. So
Yeah.
the book is the only exception
Yeah.
to that. But
Because
Yeah.
even Cortland Mead is like, no.
I'd murder him too. I mean,
He's just so annoying. They really both are,
punch him
but
in
at
his
least
teeth.
I at least like that Danny in the Kubrick version gets creepy. Like red rum. Like you at least get the creepiness from him, and the Danny's gone away now, Mrs. Torrance. That whole figure thing
And he
is so
grows
stupid.
into what, Ewan McGregor. So hey,
Yeah.
not doing too bad.
So, okay,
That's not
I know it's not necessarily what we're discussing either, but I don't know if Shannon's prepared to have an answer for this question, but I think the other two of you probably are. But Mike Flanagan's adaptation of Dr. Sleep, what was your guys' thoughts on how he stayed pretty faithful to both books, being Dr. Sleep and The Shining, and then also paid tribute to Kubrick's movie as well, and tying all three of them together?
I thought it was fucking fantastic.
I enjoyed that movie. I haven't read the book.
Well, it was an impossible task. So I think we've talked about this before. It was to honor not only the book and Kubrick's movie and bring them both into Dr. Sleep and still do, like, it was almost impossible. And I thought they pulled it off really well.
I had heard rumors of the fact that it was supposed to be a really faithful adaptation to all three entities. But I remember
that's hard.
I remember
I think
having
it
a lot of
was.
doubts going into that,
Yeah.
watching that movie. Saying, there's no way in hell Flanagan's going to be able to pull this off. And
I would recommend the director's cut over
Yeah.
the
Yes.
theatrical cut. The director's cut goes a lot more. I mean, let's face it. You can't just come out and say I'm making a sequel to The Shining, the book. I mean, that's one of the most
Right.
infamous movies of all time.
Because, people are like,
Nobody
Flanagan
made us faithful anyway
Yeah.
to the book anyway.
and he can't attach it to the miniseries because Mick Garris is
Right.
a dickhead, and most people are like, what miniseries? I think he tied it in perfectly.
Movies does not support Mick Garris.
No, I thought it
fuck
was
Mick. If you want to come, Mick, if you want to come on anybody's show, hey, I'll eat crow. No, I thought it was fantastic too. I saw it in theaters, and there was a
too.
lot that I was like, oh man. I mean, I was just happy. It's one of my favorite books. That and The Shining are
Yeah.
the top for me.
And I think
But
we
then when I
talked
saw
about this
the
a lot when it
director's
came
cut,
out too.
yeah, when I saw the director's cut, I was like, all right, I'm fully more supportive of this. You can't make it without attaching it to Kubrick's version. There's no way. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
So,
And
and
I thought
then
it was
yeah,
great
mhm.
how they were able to do both.
Yeah, I
So
thought the casting was great. I thought the story was great. The visuals, the bringing back to the Overlook, it was all fantastic.
I just can't
So
take the part with the baseball player. I have to leave the room or fast forward.
that's a
That
tough part in
crushed
the
me in the
book.
theater.
Yeah,
And I read
yeah,
the book too, so I know. But
hmm
it's one thing to read it and picture it in your head, but it's a different
yeah,
thing to see it on screen. I think,
yeah,
like,
yeah. That one
to hear him
was
crying
tough.
for his mom, like, fuck.
Yeah,
So, just
and
another
props to that
comment
kid actor.
from the
Yeah,
audience. Mr. Joey Rice Jr. has officially announced that we have inspired him to do a reread after he's done with reading Holly. So,
Is he
Shanna,
commenting right now? Because fuck him. He's not even reading Holly, and he's full of shit. That's what I'm gonna say right now.
I will read The Shining with you, and Joey can read it with us too.
Okay.
I'll read it again. Fucking right, I'll
Buddy,
read it.
Right?
buddy,
okay,
I'll
so
read
let's
that
just
book
rip the
every
band-aid
day.
off the wall off the wound right now. Are we all in for a fact that we all just need to reread or read Shanna, The Shining, and just do a Literature Reapers episode on it and discuss it?
I never have a problem reading The Shining. It's my go-to
Never.
No,
book.
I would put it in my top 3 favorite books of all time. And I'm not just saying
I've read
My
it at
biggest-
least
all
7 or
books.
8 times.
nothing
my
will
biggest problem
unthrone.
with
Nothing will
my biggest
dethrone the
problem with rereading.
Hold on, Shanna.
She's got to read it.
I said nothing will unthrone or dethrone the hungry, hungry caterpillar for me.
Ooh, Eric Carl. My biggest problem with rereading The Shining is I always immediately jump into Doctor Sleep right after because I'm like, I just want the story to continue.
Yeah.
I
just
have
get
actually not done that
right
one
in.
yet.
You should.
That's
You
an
haven't read
interesting
Doctor
idea.
Sleep?
No, I've read Doctor Sleep. I read Doctor
Oh, I was like,
Sleep before the movie came out. I was
Yeah,
like, there's no
going
way in
back to
hell
back.
that's a good idea. I could do that.
I mean,
It's a good way to
I
do
know
it.
we've had this discussion before, but realistically, there's only like 5, maybe 6 truly quality adaptations of King's work, and generally it's Stand By Me, The Green Mile, Shawshank, and Misery. With,
Carrie.
depending upon your thoughts, Carrie, Doctor Sleep is another one. So
I think you're leaving
it's
out a
like,
big one.
so
Dolores
yeah, I mean,
Claiborne.
Oh, yeah, Dolores Claiborne. When are we going to get a
Dolores.
Rose Matter movie?
Who is asking for that?
I don't understand. I would ask for it, although I feel like it could
The
be
same
hard to
person
bring
that's
that.
like, I want
It
Doom
would be
McKee. I want to
difficult
see
to
Doom
do
McKee.
that. I agree. It would be difficult. I still want The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. I'm waiting for somebody
That'd
to
be a good
make a
one.
movie of that. I'm waiting for it. But
That'd be a good one.
And
so I
by
can
the
bring out
way,
my pop-up book.
by the way, Tim, Joey says I'm only 60 pages in. I need to pick up the pace, but life is so busy these days. LOL.
You know what? No. You know what? Can you hear me? Because he's such a
Well, I'm
fucking
sure he can hear you because
politician.
he's commenting
He
along.
is such a fucking politician when he answers stuff. He's so diplomatic about it, and it's like, life's crazy. So I'm only like he's always trying to justify being a fucker. That's it. I love you, Joey. I love you, Henry.
I love everybody. Everybody's important to me.
Put that on a t-shirt. Quit trying to justify
It's
being a
just
fuck.
yeah, fucking just
This is where I bring out the
diplomatic at
dick.
fucking Whoa.
Shanna, where's your dick?
Pedro Pascal is laying with Larry.
Oh.
I'm going to reiterate Harvey's comment from last Tuesday. Why are there a lot of penises on the screen right now?
There's only one because Shanna didn't bring Pedro.
That's one too many.
Pedro. Look at his eyes. He's so cute.
I'm not joining this club.
First of all, I'm not trying to look at the penis's eyes.
Hands
No.
off. Dance off.
I can do this. I can give you Hannibal Lecter, straight jacket and mask and all.
Nice.
No penises.
Nice.
No penises.
Ooh, I know
Thank
what
you.
I need.
You're welcome.
Oh God.
I'm struggling with my vintage Alf doll.
No, it's just Vlad,
Oh,
my Dracula Squishmallow.
I'm not going in the other room and getting my doll that I have, although it would be fitting for this episode.
I have the
Um,
Halloween
is it a-
3 set.
You'd
After
have to
Peter's
inflate-
Private Tank.
Amanda knows what it is. She bought it for me at, I think, Walgreens or something like that.
Oh, PetSmart. It's a Freddy
Not that
Krueger dog toy.
one.
Oh.
That's
Oh, the
Freddy Krueger
shiny
one.
one. Come and
The
play
Grady-
with us,
the Grady
Daddy.
twins.
The twins.
I told you if you're going to bring your doll to the show, you'd have to inflate it first.
Come and
No
play
shame.
with us, Daddy.
We are not here to
forever.
kink shame.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Casey, rein it back in.
Well, is there any aspects of the movie that any of us definitely want to bring up? Because I think we pretty much covered our thoughts and opinions on whatever. And I mean, we don't necessarily need to be here all night picking apart piece by piece the movie, because I think we probably could. But
I'm going to just throw this out here as someone who has not read the book. I enjoyed the movie for what it was. So I think because I don't have that benchmark to compare it to, it's a lot easier for me to be like, it's a great movie. It's it's a wild ride. I don't have all of the backstory and, the nuances that the book contains. So I would like to revisit it again once I am done reading the book and watching it again.
definitely
The book
challenge
is a
you
slow
to read
burn.
the book. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. The book is
But
a
you get a
slow
lot
burn.
of
The
backstories
movie,
that makes everything make sense.
yeah, but I can
powered through it, so
I can understand why somebody would love this movie and then be like, I don't really want to read the book because I like this movie so much, and the book I just feel like is going to make it too much and go into, you know what I mean? The book, the movie is like fucking hell. Like, people rave about this movie. I, for one, I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's like, the bee's knees or anything. And I love the book, but even as a movie, it's watchable. There's good parts.
Yeah.
There's high points. There's low points. But the book's the same way. There's high points and there's low points in the book, where sometimes the book can ramble on and you're like,
it does.
But
it's also
get to it,
terrifying. Like, there's so much of that book that is the first book I ever read that actually scared me. Like, not to go back to that episode of Friends, like, I wouldn't put it in the freezer, but I was definitely like, kind of like, am I alone in here? And like, hearing a noise if I was reading it while I was home alone. Like, there are the whole fire hose part. I held my breath that entire part. Like, I could not breathe while I was reading it because I was so scared. And so I think that's like, okay, why didn't we get that in the movie? Or why didn't we get the bees or the wasps or whatever? Like,
I think it's hands down King's scariest book.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
But I will say, I do treat the book and the movie as separate works of art, and I can appreciate them both individually. I think the imagery is really good in the movie. That's kind of a Kubrick thing, the blood and the elevators. And, I think the imagery is good. But, yeah, it's just once you read the book, it changes the movie for you.
Tidal wave of blood coming down the hall.
Yeah.
I could have done without the old bathtub saggy tit lady, though.
Yeah, that was gross.
Oh, you get plenty of that.
Yeah, it's in the book. Real good.
Yeah.
Is there any helicopter dick?
It's not as bad as the It Chapter 2 woman coming, you know.
Oh,
She's got
God.
like chest full of titties flopping around. It's fucking crazy. But
You do not get twins that aren't twins saying, "Come and play with us, Danny,"
Yeah.
in the book.
Yeah.
That does not
None
happen.
of that shit's in there. No.
Because they're not twins.
No, they're not. That's
They
all.
all-
And they even
they
mention it
all-
in
all
this
do-
movie.
Yeah.
In this movie, they say the ages of the kids. Ullman tells
Yeah.
Jack the age of the kids. And then
And then
later
they're
in the movie, they're fucking twins. 2 twin girls that, you know, it's one of those things that's like, I want to
Obviously,
be
he didn't
supportive
give
of it,
two
but then I'm
shits
like,
about.
ugh.
He didn't give two shits about doing a quality job. Because we did that. I mean, that's a common sense thing that you would have picked up while putting shit together, in my opinion, anyway.
But it made it way
I mean,
creepier.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's,
Oh, yeah, they're
and
creepy.
I think that's one of the only thing. I think King has gone on the record saying that he wished he thought of that, you know, or had put that in.
Yeah.
I could be way
Yeah, it
off,
was
but there
definitely
something
scary.
that, yeah, it's a creepy ass movie, and it's in Twister. I mean, a Twister, and they're at the drive-in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
no, it's an iconic movie with so much iconic imagery that everybody knows. You see a kid riding a tricycle down a hallway in a hotel, you know exactly what you're watching.
How
everybody
fun
recognized
would
that-
that have been?
Oh, for sure.
That's my
The print
favorite
of
part
the
of the movie.
Yeah, the print of the carpet, everybody recognizes that print.
Yeah,
I mean, you
It's
got a whole
iconic.
thing of it in Ready Player One, like,
Yep.
which was really cool.
The best part of the movie, not in the book. Spoiler. Not in the fucking.
Yeah.
I was so mad when I read that book and was like, "What the fuck?"
Kevin says
The
Ready
book's really
Player
good.
2 is way better.
Ready
So
Player
I
2
haven't-
sucks.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm not a fan.
Okay.
I'm not a fan, but I mean, definitely read it. You might like it. I did it back to back.
I didn't
And
read
just,
Ready Player One. I've just seen the movie. So,
I have not watched
Oh,
or
the
read
book's-
either.
but the
book is
Shining scene is
really-
legit.
The book is really good, and it's one of those things where if you can view it as a companion piece, like separate the art, like you can do with The Shining, you'll definitely enjoy it. I loved the book. I love the movie, but they're two. They're just companion pieces where it's like, who wants to watch a movie that's exactly the same thing that you just read? It's kind of boring.
I do. I mean,
Samesies.
Really? I mean, it's just
Takes the
kinda
guesswork
boring
out of
to-
it for me.
I don't know.
I don't know because I want to see it brought
like
to
changes.
life. I mean, okay.
You can do that, but you can stay true, but also tweak some things.
That's
Not
true.
as far as Kubrick did
Gone
with The
Girl.
Shining.
Gone Girl
but
was good as that. Was good with that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
that book is one of my favorite books, and I like feel weird that I went opening night to see that movie.
I
A
did
married
too.
man at the time at midnight showing. Going, I can't. I'm just like sitting there going, "Fuck, I love that's."
You
That
just
book
knew
is so
there was
underrated.
a dick shot. You were like, but that's
I did not.
Sign
I
me
did
up.
not.
If you pause
did
it just
not. I
right,
was
you can
like,
see his penis.
Hey, I said, I told the projectionist, I was like, I think you need to pause the Affleck dick, but no, that book is so good. It's criminally underrated.
book
The
is
movie's
amazing.
underrated too. Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
Wouldn't it be weird if you went to watch it and like at that, like back in the day when they used film and that part was burnt because they showed it so much?
Or if like Tyler Durden just showed up and was like,
Amanda, Kevin said, and I quote, "I never said Ready Player 2 was better. I just said that you guys would love both of them and that you would like the second one more because it goes into
The 80s.
deep Prince thing."
Okay. Sorry, Kevin. I did not mean to misquote you. I just remember you saying that you thought I'd really like it. So
quit covering
yeah.
the track, Stoner.
Kevin's a genius. Kevin's amazing. Kevin,
Just imagine if he used
Kevin's a
his
good
powers
dude.
for
Kevin's a
evil.
good dude.
I know, right? I'm so glad Kevin uses his powers for good and not evil.
Or if
Well,
he chooses
no.
to change his mind and use his powers for evil, like, I'm totally up for being a henchman. I'm good.
Yeah. The shit he can do with Chat GPT, let's cause some trouble.
Right.
I'll take him down.
All right. So I think, for argument's sake, we probably covered enough of our discussion about the movie. So let's go ahead and rate the movie out of 5. And I will let's let our guest go first. So, Tim, what are your thoughts and rating for the movie?
Way to put me on the spot there.
That's what we do.
I'll view it objectively as a movie. Going into it, just watching it for what it is, as a horror movie, being a horror fan. I'd give it a 4. I'd give it a 4. As a standalone, as what it is.
And Shanna?
As someone who has not read the book, as I said before, I'm going to rate it just on pure entertainment value. And I'm going to give it, I think I'm going to go 4.25 tricycles.
And Amanda?
Well, I've always said and have always been clear about that I treat them as 2 separate works. The Shining is probably my favorite book of all time, or if not, it's at least in my top 5, maybe top 3. So, I think, for having grown up and watching it before I read the book and remember thinking it was pretty creepy and messed up and whatever, I'll give it 4 out of 5 creepy zombie twins.
That aren't twins.
Yeah. Come and play with us, Danny. Forever and ever.
All right. So I'm pretty much going to echo what everybody else has said. And I'm going to go 4 out of 5. Lack of hedge. Well, 4 out of 5 blades of grass in the rope court. We'll go with that one.
It's Denver croquet.
Only because same thing. Because yeah, if you take the comparison between the book and the movie out of it, like Tim said, as a horror movie on its own, yeah, it's probably 4 out of 5. If you want to break it down and go bit by bit, which we're not going to do, but that definitely lowers the rating a whole hell of a lot more. So 4 out of 5 for me, 4 out of 5 for everybody else except Shanna, who had to be different and go 4.25.
That's what I do.
You went 4.25 and we all went 4.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
you're the unique one.
Weird.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
So I think that's going to just about wrap it up. As always, we want to thank the listeners for being here each and every week. Thank you to everybody who chimed in with comments. I tried to keep an eye on my phone as they were coming up, so if I didn't bring up a comment that you made,
Fuck you, Joey Rice. Sorry.
Definitely, Joey is one of the ones that we need to get back on the show rather quickly, because Joey's been off the show almost as long as Tim has. So, Joey,
you don't need him back.
Well, I don't want to talk about country music. Sorry, unless we're going to go back to the 90s, then I'm okay with it.
So ask Joey to come on and review what is it, Rhinestone?
Ooh, or Urban Cowboy.
Yeah.
Or Pure Country.
Urban Cowboy.
Ooh.
Or what's the other one? Is Rhinestone? Rhinestone's
Yeah.
one, but Urban
Like
Cowboy
a
is the one I was thinking of.
rhinestone cowboy.
We could do
get Joey
Pure
on here to
Country.
talk Urban Cowboy. Ask him about his cut off jean shorts, his cowboy boots, and his thick thighs save lives.
I have a shirt that says "Thick thighs save lives," and
Yeah,
also
it's a lot funnier
"Thick thighs
seeing
make
it.
good earmuffs."
It's a lot funnier seeing Joey wearing it with cut off shorts and cowboy boots. It's adorable.
I want to see it.
There's enough
Yeah.
pictures
Sorry
of Joey
for interrupting.
going around the
Fuck you,
region
Joey.
and going to his concerts every weekend.
Joey's my brother from another mother. I love that dude. He's a sweetheart.
But
I
fuck
love
you,
that
Joey. Apparently.
guy. But yeah, fuck you. I love you, but fuck you.
Definitely, Joey had a great episode as well, but Joey does not sit at the top of the most listened list on An Evening at the Movies. That spot is still held by the first episode ever, which was ran by myself and guested by Tim as well. So we hold the record. So Joey's got to come back and up his game to try.
That episode was terrible.
Did we talk the Crow?
We did talk about the Crow.
Oh, I thought so. Yeah, no, that was. I loved it, but
debut
I can't believe she just said that was awful.
It wasn't great. I was horrible. I'm not perfectly great now, but
I thought it was fun.
compared to what I am
off
now,
my ass.
Probably
fine family fun.
That episode I think ran like 2.5 hours long.
Was it
I had
organic?
a bunch of it I had to cut out.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Is Crow organic?
It was fun, but at the same time, yeah. Number 2 in that line is the second episode, which was Amanda and our Stand By Me clusterfuck.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then number 3 was Joey and Batman Begins.
No, stop that. You can't say that because Joey's going to take that and he's going to run with it and think he's the bee's knees. You can't do that.
You're the bee's knees, Tim.
I am the bee's knees. Joey's got an ego on him, though. Be careful. He's always flexing on people.
I thought you said he had an eagle on him. I'm like, what does that mean?
Okay, so let's throw this challenge. Let's throw this challenge out there then. We've got somebody from the Pod Squad who has not yet been on An Evening at the Movies. Not going to mention any names.
Ooh.
Dave.
Ooh, that fucker right there.
Dave.
That he has been promised a spot to come on, and you guys took your vacation and had. But if Dave's willing to come back, I would like to challenge Dave to help break the record and blow Amanda's episode and Joey's episode and the Crow episode out of the water, and we'll do big numbers for that episode.
Dewey still owes me a sip list. We promised 90s R&B albums way back in the day.
But where does my Cool as Ice episode fall into line?
Not even in the top 10.
Damn it.
You know, I want to say something about Dave. Dewdrop, good friend of mine. There's a word I would use to describe him, but I'm pretty sure it's only socially acceptable in like Australia and England. I think if you say it in the US, people get highly offended. No, not wanker.
Dingo?
No. Begins with a C, ends with a T. And it's a term of endearment. But if Dewey doesn't come on here, yeah. Can I say that?
I say it all the time.
See you next Tuesday.
Well, it's one thing if a lady says it. If a guy says it, in my experience,
I buy him a beer.
If you're British, it's fine. So
well, I can just say he's a right cunt, that Dewey.
I have a T-shirt that says "cunt" across it. I wear it out in public, and I get a lot of looks.
It's one of my favorite words ever, and I don't even mean it like in a. I'll never say it derogatory to anybody. I'll just throw it in there like joking around. But
if you ever need to, just let me know. I'll do it for you.
I love it. I get to send you a Facebook friend request.
You should.
I need to.
Just realize that you're signing up for weirdness and chaos and carnage.
We ain't seen nothing yet, sister.
The invitation is definitely out there for Dave to come on not only An Evening at the Movies, but the SIP list as well. And obviously, the invitation is always open-ended to have Tim come back and discuss movies with us as well. Because at the end of the day, we love sitting around and just talking shit and getting deep and blowing up people's
That's what she
opinions
said.
on.
Getting deep and blowing up shit.
I got a request. Time to Kill. That's all.
The
We haven't
movie or the
done
book?
We haven't done the movie yet,
Either
and
one.
Tim is.
Okay.
I promised him A Time to Kill, and I promised him Red Dragon as well.
Well, Dre has to be on for A Time to Kill as well, so that will be fun. We
That's
did the
fine.
book already, but yes, we need to do the movie.
Dre and Tim will like each other as well because they both have weird senses of humor. You know that as well as I do.
Is it because I'm a ginger?
All right.
Yes. And he's not a ginger. He's
I'll
the
be
I'm a
opposite
ginger.
of ginger.
I'm a ginger
the
from the waist
opposite.
down.
So the carpet doesn't match the drapes.
Nope, not even a little.
Interesting.
I
Never
got a little
does.
bleach happy.
All right. So definitely we want to say thank you to Tim for coming back and recording with us. We have missed
Thanks for
you,
having me.
and anytime you want to come back, you're welcome. As before I turn everything over and let you guys talk about where you can be found and what your shows are, I just want to say this. Thank you for helping inspire and create the show that is almost 3 years old now. I didn't think I was ever going to get into this, but once I got into it and really got bit with the bug, it's become a big passion project of mine. So more than anything, I appreciate all your support and encouragement and helping get the show launched as well. You are a great friend, and I appreciate everything. So thank you, sir.
Fuck, man, you're gonna make me tear up a little. Man. I'm just proud of you guys. Everybody needs a creative outlet, and it's an outlet that's can be overlooked until you think about it. You know, podcasting it's a great way to just let out what you're feeling, what you think, and I'm proud of you
We've
guys
had a lot
for
of fun
sticking
with
through
it.
it. And
Agreed.
yeah, it's,
100%.
you know, it's creativity.
And I
It's fun,
definitely wouldn't
so-
be here without you either. So thank you.
No, you could. You guys are crushing it. Proud of you. You're like the wind beneath my wings.
No.
No,
Oh,
I'm
he
so happy
quoted a
for you
fellow
guys.
ginger,
Well-
Bette Midler.
We may be the wind beneath your wings, but did you ever know that you're our hero?
You're everything
no.
else we hoped we could be.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't
stop
say
it. I'm
that.
going to cry
No.
just thinking about that movie. God damn it. Stop.
I
Stop.
can fly
Stop.
higher
Broken
than an
bases.
eagle.
Stop it.
No, you guys
I'm
are
gonna
crushing
throw
it.
this
I'm
out
happy to
there,
be a
and
part of it. So. Are you drinking Pedialyte?
Dude, Walmart
It's very
brand
purple.
flavored water.
That's
Oh.
weird. It's cherry, but it's
That's
purple.
Because black
Yeah,
cherry.
it looks like
Black
Pedialyte.
cherry.
It looks
Oh.
like Pedialyte.
It does
Get your
look like Pedialyte.
electrolytes up.
What's the difference between cherry and black cherry? Are they different fruits?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no? Are they
I
just
don't know.
fermented
I'm just
different?
saying, no, I don't know.
They
They
It's
taste
taste the
like-
same.
completely different. So
It's like blue raspberry is just raspberry, but they had to pick a different color because there was already cherry, watermelon, and strawberry.
no, because blue raspberry
No.
tastes different.
Because you're probably the same person that thinks all the different Trick cereal has different flavors.
Oh yeah, fucking M&Ms taste different.
No,
Bullshit.
M&Ms do not taste different.
Well,
I can
people
taste the
are out there.
redness.
But the red ones give you cancer.
Yeah.
The people are
And-
out there.
I'm still angry at Skittles for their fucking green apple debacle where they took away my lime. Like, what sociopath likes green apple?
What sociopath likes lime in a candy?
Me.
All right.
Mike and
Go
Ike's
figure.
has lime, right? I
Yeah.
love Mike and Ike's. Yeah,
They're too
And-
cheap.
I guess.
Stick
Strawberry
I guess both
Starbursts are the
along.
worst flavor. The pink are the worst.
Oh, you
said
know
it.
who else was a big supporter of lime? John Wayne Gacy.
That makes so much sense.
It kind of does.
Here's another idea that just came to my immense brain because you two host Crime Rewind.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest a certain person who's below me on the screen right now that also is a huge true crime fan. It would be a good guest on your show as well.
I already said that.
Yeah, it's in the works.
Did you?
I did. It's okay.
Whatever.
Not the whatever.
Not the
All right.
middle
All right.
finger.
I gotta pee.
So
Yeah, same.
I'm going to turn the microphone over and let everybody say goodbye. We'll start with Tim. So go ahead and say your goodbyes and let people
Thanks for having
know
me.
about yourself if you want. Not a problem. Anytime, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not big. I mean, I got my personal socials. Find us on the Overlook, the group. My Twitter is like Overlook Jabroni. I don't know. It's a picture of Keith Morrison from Dateline.
And then everyone said jabroni.
Jabroni. I'm a huge Keith Morrison fan, so I don't know. I'm out there. Listen to the Overlook.
Dude's a legend.
Yeah, he is. He's fucking
Definitely
Chandler's
listen to the
stepfather.
new Overlook episode and definitely go
Oh.
check out the archive stuff as well. I've listened to everything and they're great episodes.
I
Tim, I have
guess.
to tell you something. We have a group that we were reading the Bachman books, and some people didn't have Rage. So I have done an audio reading of Rage. I still need to finish the last 2 chapters, but
It's a hell of a
You need
lot
to
better
send
than
it
that
to me.
hot garbage YouTube crap.
Yeah, I would think so because that YouTube crap is awful. That book is
I
awful,
sound
but
good when I read.
I want to hear Amanda read it for sure.
I'll
I
send
That
kind
book's
of-
trash.
I thought about being like telling people I was going to do an audiobook and then just like breathe heavy for 9.5 hours and have them try to figure out what I'm doing.
All right, so since
Rage is
everybody's
so
got to
bad.
pee, let's do this quick. And Shanna,
I am Shanna. You can find me on all of the socials under Shanna Lindemann. Literally the only Shanna Lindemann in the world. I checked. So I can't avoid felonies. Anyway, you can
Damn
catch
it.
Amanda. I know. You can catch Amanda and I every Tuesday as we drop True Crime Tuesday on Crime Rewind, where we talk about the old, cold, and often untold true tales of crime.
Amanda,
I am the host of the Sip List, along with the co-host of the other aforementioned shows. And this week we have top 5 TV villains, and then next week top 5 vampire characters. So stay tuned for those, and more to come up soon. And now I got to get Tim back on the Sip List now that he's back.
I don't think you're going to have a problem with that. Just my own estimation. But
Our episode had a lot of listens, and even my husband said we had good chemistry.
I have a
I
cat
gotta
stuck in my
talk to
hair.
publicist. Reach out to my agent.
Okay. I'll Instagram your agent.
I have a cat
Yes,
stuck in my hair.
please. Please.
That's not good, Shanna.
I know. I don't even know how he got in here. But he's in my hair.
I
As
dare
well,
to ask
you-
which hair.
you can find an evening at the movies wherever
The
you get your
tangly
podcast.
one.
Not the Tangled. Sorry, I'm
Casey,
done.
what
I'm
you
gonna
got?
mute myself.
Well, I mean, for people that have to pee, they don't want me to wrap the show up very damn quickly. Just kidding. Love you guys. Definitely check out An Evening at the Movies wherever you get your podcast listening fix. You can find us on social media. Just search for the name of the show. Coming up, we've got the rest of Stephen King Birthday Bonanza. We've got Halloween Horror Fest coming up next month. And then we've got other openings coming up in November or
Opening.
December as well as
Three
and
openings?
our
I
very
heard
first
openings in
ever
October.
Chaos bracket is currently underway. So definitely check us out on Twitter and the Facebook group and vote and get your voice heard. And we will be back next week with results for that, as well as Creep Show and Cujo, a double feature. So hashtag D Wallace. We'll be back. So have a good week, guys, and we will. Wait a minute. What the hell am I doing? It's Amanda.
I
Amanda,
know.
do your
I
job.
was like, hello.
Do your job.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you watched along, thank you for watching. We love you, and we hope you all come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye.
Peace and hair grease.
Bye.